When the Zen master ignores the king's order, the whole assembly was in silence. Everyone knew that the king was very cruel and no one had the courage to ask the king to wait for 5 days. Friends, the story is of a great king of Japan. The king needed a magnificent cupboard to keep his special items for the palace decoration. He got many great and talented carpenters to make the cupboard, but none of them could satisfy the king. The problem was that the king was recognized for his anger. If he didn't like the cupboard, he would have punished the artist and the carpenters. Once the king called the Zen master of the ashram. This Zen master was famous for his amazing art for kumiki. In kumiki, there no nail-in tools are used. Without using these tools, the wood pieces are made into furniture and houses. When the Zen master got the news, he went to the king's court the next day. The king told the Zen master, I want a special cupboard to keep in my royal court so that I can keep valuable items in the cupboard so that the royal guests who come to the palace can see these items. These items are very special and beautiful. The cupboard should also such a be unique one, whose amazing art no one has ever seen before. The master said after thinking a little, okay, I will make a cupboard for you. But there is a problem. I am busy for the next 5 days. After 5 days, I will start making the cupboard. The whole court was silent because everyone knew the anger of the king. After hearing the answer of the master, king thought, is this Zen master doing such an important work that he is not following my orders? The king thought, okay, first let the master make cupboard, later I will teach him a lesson. The king let the master go. Then immediately he sent a spy to the master so that he could know which important work master was going to do for 5 days. On the first day, the king's spy saw that the master was going to do nothing but sit quietly in meditation. From the second day to the fifth day, the master was in the same condition. He would sit quietly all the days with his eyes closed. The spy told the king everything. So the king's anger increased. But he was calm, thinking that if he was going to punish him now, then everyone's sympathy would be with Zen master. 5 days later, the master came to the king with the important things and went to make the cupboard, and he completed the task of 10 days in just 3 days. When the master presented the cupboard in front of the king, all the court, including the king, kept looking. No one had ever made such a cupboard before. The design was amazing and drawing was complex and attractive. Without any connection, this cupboard was going to run for years. Seeing this cupboard, the king became furious. He was very happy and surprised because he knew that the master had made a much better cupboard than human ability. The cupboard that would take young boy 10 days to make, the 55-year-old master has completed that task in just 3 days without any mistake. Seeing such an amazing work and talent, the king's pride melted. The king said to the master, you have done incredible work, whose praise is not possible in words. But I have a question in my mind. Why did you sit idle for 5 days before you started working? Tell me the secret of this. Master replied, King, why do you think that I did nothing for 5 days? The cupboard you are seeing now is the result of those 5 days of meditation. The master said, the first day I gave up the thoughts of failure and fears in my mind because I knew that if you would not be happy with my work, I could be jailed. I knew that if fear was only in my mind, then there would be some or the other deficiency in the cupboard. That's why the first day I kept looking at the thoughts of fear without reacting until I calmed down. The second day, I finished the thoughts of weakness in my mind. I am incapable. I have no ability to make wonderful cupboard for the king. I kept looking at all this doubt until I was detached from them. On the third day, I let go of the hope and desires of praise from the mind. I let go of all these thoughts and was sitting in peace. The master said, I spent the fourth day in abandoning my pride, so that when I succeed and people praise me, then the ego cannot dominate me. On the fifth day, I made a clear picture of this cupboard in my mind, and I created faith in my work that the king will definitely like the cupboard. It took me 5 days to make this picture in my mind. The master said, in this way, I removed all the thoughts from my mind that are a barrier to achieving my goal. As a result, the cupboard was ready in a short time. The first lesson. The mind talks about 4 types of things. First, what happens if I don't succeed? Second, I am not worthy of success. Third, if I succeed, I will be famous. I will have a name. And fourth, the ego of success, that I have done all this. Because of these 4 types of thought of mind, we cannot remain present. We keep losing our powers, because of which the mind and its thought dominate us. The second lesson is the lies of fear. The mind speaks to all of us internally. You are not ready. You are not worthy. This does not allow us to put our full potential and full power. That is why Swami Ji says, the moment you overcome the fear, the success will be yours. How did the master calm the thoughts? Thoughts are just thoughts, not reality. Master saw that if he could not make the cupboard, then the king can punish him. The appearance of this thought gives a feeling of the pain in the body. Then the master accepted that this fear is just a thought, not reality. Master saw that if he could not make the cupboard, then the king can punish him. The appearance of this thought gives a feeling of the pain in the body. Then the master accepted that fears is just a thought, and thoughts is just a guess, not truth. The truth is that I see the thoughts coming and going. Then the master sat in silence until the thoughts coming and going did not disturb the peace of mind. When the master stopped being distracted by thoughts, the 3 years along with its root were destroyed. The next lesson is focus on vision. Gautam Buddha says, what you think, you become. What you imagine, you create. When the goal is clear in the mind and there are no other thoughts, then the success is definitely achieved. Therefore, see a clear picture of the continuous goal in your mind.